Hi, you're on the Alice Reddit Stories channel. Subscribe to my channel as well as my Facebook page. There we can chat. The link is in the description of the video. Thank you. Enjoy watching. Story 1. OOP's stepson is in love with her daughter. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. My primary account has too much identifying information and wanted to be as anonymous as possible. Only people within this household know what's going on. My husband and I have been married for almost 12 years. We were both previously married before we met, and I came into the marriage with 2 daughters and he came into the marriage with 2 sons. We have one 11-year-old son between us. My daughters are aged 20 and 18 and my stepsons are ages 19 and 17, so the older kids are all essentially 1 year apart. Both stepsons have lived out of state with their mother until a little over a year ago. My younger stepson wanted to move in with us, which was fine and great. He's a good kid and wanted to attend public school after being homeschooled his whole life. My 18-year-old daughter and him are both seniors in high school and attend the same school. They have, what I thought, was a very close sibling bond. They drive to school together, take some of the same classes, have some of the same extracurricular activities. They get along great. Recently, stepson has been moody and depressed and said he is unable to sleep at night because he has too much running through his mind. Husband took him to see a doctor about it and doctor diagnosed him with anxiety and depression. Husband tried to talk with him more about what's on his mind, and stepson confesses he has feelings for a girl and can't stop thinking about it and worried she didn't feel the same way. Husband told him to just tell the girl how he feels, put it out there, see what she says. So, he did. Last night stepson told my daughter he has feelings for her and has for quite a while. My head is not clear and I can't recall at this moment exactly what was written, but daughter showed me the Snapchat messages which she didn't want to screenshot, because stepson would know, so I saw them once before they disappeared into the Snapchat void. I immediately told my husband, who then went to speak with stepson about the situation and basically told him it was wrong. Understandably, my daughter feels emotionally violated. She has lost all trust in him and no longer feels comfortable around him. We have had to essentially keep them separated the past 24 hours because stepson feels horribly awkward and daughter is experiencing some trauma over it. It is an extremely uncomfortable situation for all involved. Here is where it goes downhill. In my eyes, and my daughter's, this is disgusting and perverted. I truly apologize if that offends anyone, that is not my intention. I am having a very difficult time looking at stepson the same way now. My first reaction was to send him straight back to his mother, but didn't say so and just kept my mouth shut. Husband and I had time to sleep on it and talk more about it today, and turns out he sees nothing wrong with the situation and says people love who they love. Who am I to judge? I do not feel this way. I am protective of my daughter and her feelings. Husband's parents feel the same way he does. I was raised in a family that would not think this is okay on any level. Keep in mind daughter and stepson have been raised as siblings, basically, since they were each 4 years old. It's not like they just met or became step-siblings recently. It is clear husband and I will not agree on whether this is right or wrong. We need a therapist stat to help us navigate this or our 12-year marriage and 15-year relationship is going to be destroyed. The tension in this house right now is worse than anything I have experienced in my lifetime. Please help me. Am I being completely unreasonable in the way I am viewing this? Am I making a big to-do about nothing? How do I handle this? How do I protect my fainter without alienating my stepson? I will also be cross-posting to parenting and relationship subs. I need all of the help I can get right now. Thank you in advance for any advice or support, or just real talk you can give. Update: I posted here exactly 200 days ago about my stepson confessing his love to my daughter. You can see the original post through my profile, it's very detailed. I had also posted the same topic on the parenting sub, and the majority of the responses I got were that there wasn't anything gross or creepy about my stepson telling my daughter he loved her. In fact, every adult we talked to about this incident wrote it off to normal teenage boy hormones. I vehemently disagreed, but decided to heed all of the advice we got from outside sources, not just Reddit, and move past it. I shouldn't have done that. Here is the update with the basic pertinent background information included for those that don't recall. Husband and I have been married/together for almost 15 years. We were both previously married, and he brought 2 sons, ages 19 and 17 years old, into the marriage, and I brought 2 daughters, ages 20 and 18 years old. We have 1 son together, who is 12 years old. Up until 2 years ago, both of his sons lived with their mother in another state, and my daughters and our young son lived with us. His youngest son, 17 years old, turning 18 years old in 26 days, moved in with us 2 years ago. It has been a very rocky road for everyone adjusting to him living here. Before moving in, he was homeschooled his whole life and very much sheltered from the real world by his mother, as much as humanly possible. He is extremely socially awkward and has no idea how to make friends or interact with people whatsoever, despite our best efforts to help him. Because he and my 18-year-old daughter were in the same grade, juniors, when he moved in, they just graduated in June, she basically became responsible for him as his only friend inside and outside of school. She has hated it all along, and I don't blame her. But my husband feels sorry for his son because he is incapable of having the social skills that most kids that age have. This past winter, our family was in turmoil after stepson sent a text to my daughter one night telling her he was in love with her. Understandably, every ounce of trust she had in him was destroyed, and she felt violated and disgusted. My immediate reaction was that stepson needed to get out of this house and move back with his mother, because my daughter would never feel comfortable around him again, and neither would I. Every adult we talked to about this said that I was making a bigger deal out of it than needed to be, and that we needed to address the situation and move on from it. So despite my instincts telling me otherwise, that is what we did. 2 days ago, my daughter texted me asking me to come to her room immediately. When I go upstairs, she is sobbing hysterically and tells me, and shows me, that stepson had placed his phone in her room while she was in the shower and was recording video of her getting dressed after she went back to her room from the bathroom. She went through his phone and found he has been doing this for quite some time, because there were numerous videos of her changing and undressing dating back to at least 6 months ago. He had been putting his phone in there while she was showering, and then after she leaves her room once she dresses, he would sneak in and grab his phone back. Many videos of her completely naked. I told husband the kid needed to get the fuck out of my house now. That even I didn't feel comfortable with him here. Husband once again played the "he's my son, I can't just throw him out" card. I said bullshit to that. Stepson is a mentally ill pervert, and I will not have him in this house as long as my daughter or I are here. That trust is gone, and he absolutely disgusts me now. I took his phone from my daughter, and he will not be getting it back. Now husband and I are at major odds, because although husband admits what he did is sick and unacceptable, he's responsible for him as a minor and can't just throw him out and get rid of him like trash, even by sending him back to his mother. The next morning, husband had time to sleep on it and realized I was right. We need to protect my daughter, and she is at risk as long as stepson stays in this house. Within 8 hours of the incident, I took my daughter and left the state for a week of vacation that had already been planned, though we were not supposed to leave for a few more days. In the meantime, husband spoke with stepson's mother, and she agreed he needs to go back to her. He has a stepsister there too, so I am truly concerned for that household as well. I wanted to call the police, press charges, but he is a minor and my daughter is 18, so husband was of the impression that it would basically be like pressing charges on him since stepson is not yet 18. I have purchased a one-way ticket back to his mother's. He will be gone before we get home from vacation. She is going to get him some mental health treatment, if that's what he needs, I cannot and will not ever trust Stepson again. He is not showing he is remorseful about what he did, he's remorseful he got caught. He has continued to lie about everything since getting caught. He admitted he did it, but said it was only a few times and only started to do it recently. I have video evidence that proves otherwise. So basically what I want to say is, if you ever have a situation like the one we had 200 days ago, don't blow it off and chalk it up to hormones or let anyone tell you it's not unnatural or unusual. I wish I had listened to my gut at the time. I hate to think how much more this could have progressed if we hadn't found the camera. My daughter is going to need a lot of therapy to overcome this. He is a sexual predator, plain and simple. Update: Hi. It's been about a year and a half now since I last posted, and since we last saw my stepsons, here is the update. We haven't seen either of my stepsons since the one who violated our trust was put on a plane back to his mother. The reason for this is, our request was that he could not return to our home until he had been properly evaluated by a healthcare professional and received appropriate therapy and/or counseling. To this day, this still has not happened. Not one single appointment for the eval or counseling. She is putting it in God's hands. I am not even kidding. That is the truth of it. Stepsons are now 21 and 19. The one who didn't live with us is welcome anytime, and has been told this many times. He chooses not to visit and rarely has contact my husband over text. He's always been that way, despite our efforts. Note: in the 16 years since she and my husband divorced, neither boy has been to a doctor or dentist one single time unless they were with us. We saw them once or twice per year. My daughter is doing absolutely amazing. Within a month of the big blow-up, she got a job and was promoted to manager within a few weeks. She worked extremely hard and bought herself a brand new car and moved into her own apartment in a really fancy, new apartment complex. She's happy and thriving and making her way through life, and we couldn't be more proud and relieved. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, there are a lot of interesting stories ahead of you.